somewhere around 1600-1700 quid to make it worthwhile. It is a bit rough. I like it, not as rough as that though. What's he here with that? The Badger. I've just spotted a Nightmare. Anyone knows will know. Yellow Fit 500. We don't buy Yellow Fit 500s. I'm still seeing a psychiatrist about the last one I had. Finally got there with that one. Will I buy another one? Would have balls.
Today's video is sponsored by Autodoc. Autodoc is an online e-commerce service specialising in automotive parts. Now they have over 4 million parts available from 1,400 different manufacturers. So whether you need parts for a car, motorcycle or truck, they have got it covered. Now I have used Autodoc for a number of years now and they are brilliant at finding all types of parts, especially parts that you might not find at your local motor factors anymore. But not only that, they have some of the best range out there. So you've got a huge choice of parts available to you at price points to suit, whether you're on a budget or looking for OE parts. In fact, my order has just arrived today for some vehicles that I am working on, getting hold of some specialist filters that I've been struggling to buy here in the UK. Now the Autodoc app is really straightforward to use. Simply download it, type in a registration number or search the make and manufacturer and you will find a whole host of parts. Whether you're looking for engine parts, service parts, suspension parts, braking parts, they have got it all covered. It's really straightforward to use. Simply pick the parts that you want, add them to your basket and you'll have them here in a matter of days. And it gets better because the prices are superb. They're packed to some of the most competitive prices out there. But on top of that, you get a discount. Simply use the promo code CARUK to get an additional 5% off their already amazing prices. So if you're in need of automotive parts and want to save some money, get yourself on Autodoc. And if you're struggling to find some parts, get yourself on there because believe me, I've used them so many times in the past and they've got me out of a jam. So to get your hands on some of the most widest choice of parts out there at the best possible price, make sure you download the Autodoc app and use that discount code to get that little bit of extra money off. The link's in the description where you can download the app directly and of course, make sure you use that promo code. Make sure you check out Autodoc guys for your automotive needs.
Even all, welcome back to the Car UK channel. Right, you joined me this morning, bit of a dealer's vlog, follow me around today, as we're basically on the hunt this morning for some vehicles. Going to go to, well, we're here at Aston Barclay. Only going to be here for a short while because, well, there's only a few cars for me at the beginning of the sale. I've got a vehicle for a customer of mine who's interested in a little Suzuki. We're going to have a look at in a minute. And there's also a couple of Sportages in, which I've been trying to buy lately and not been able to land any. But there's two in today, a 1.7 diesel and actually a 2-litre diesel, which is a 4-wheel drive one, which is quite rare because I don't usually buy the 4-wheel drive ones because I normally have a customer for one of those. However, on this occasion, he's decided to pass on it because he's got a few in already. I'm also going to be on my phone as well at the same time because there's another auction going on online and there's a C1, I think it's a C1, which I'm interested in going through at another sale. So I'm going to have to be doing a bit of multitasking, which is difficult for a man, as we all know. So I'll go have a look at those vehicles in a minute. Then we need to shoot off and get back to the unit because I've just been informed my new sign is up finally. I've been waiting for my new sign to arrive and being installed and it just took a while. It's finally gone up. Although I have been told that there is an issue with it, so we need to go find out what is going on there. Plus we've got loads of cars going out this week. I've sold so many. We've got so many going out. I need to make sure all them are on time to be going out because we've had a few issues that some of them have sprung up last minute. We've been trying to get all those sorted. So we're going to have a look around there and I can talk to you about what's been going on. And I've been buying as well. I bought a few more cars yesterday, so my driver will be out at the moment, probably picking up some of those vehicles. I've been buying Ibiza, I bought a Fiesta, I bought a Citroen DS3, which is unlike me, but it's a diesel one, and I'll show you why I bought it later. Also got a Mercedes-Benz, the C-Class, that's been having a few little issues, but that's hopefully coming back now, so we can get it finally finished off and off to the customer. I'll talk to you about that later, hopefully. So it's a bit of an action-packed day, so I hope you come with me on the journey. Let's get ourselves first here in Aston Barclay, have a look at these cars, and hopefully we can walk away today with a few cars under a belt. Right, first thing we've got to do before we get in the auction is we've got to get past the old gate man because, he's not happy with me at the moment. I've got a van here that's been here a bit too long and he keeps shouting at me. So hopefully we'll sneak round the back door and get past him without him noticing us. Well, he doesn't appear to be at his post, luckily. I think he's either not in or he's somewhere else. So that's good, we've got past him. We'll get inside now, get the catalogue, and then we'll have a look at these few vehicles. We're in. We've got a catalogue. Most importantly, we've got the breakfast voucher, which is, more important than the cars itself. Moving on to the second thing we're here for, which is the Suzuki, which is somewhere around here. Suzuki Grand Vitara, which is somewhere down here.
Unusual to see a Suzuki Grand Vitara. A little ST Fiesta there. Quick look at that. These are coming really cheap at the moment. 3,800 quid. Anyway, not really what we're here for today. Suzuki Grand Vitara, which is here. All cool to see. No handbrake, it says on there. Here we are, lot 24. It's not fucking a lot of money, this. It's only like 1,800 quid territory, and my buyer has got a really strong bid on this. It's got a few markers down on vehicle operations, so we'll have to see what that is. But there's plenty in it to enough to allow to spend money on prep. 1.9 diesel. A few bird marks on it, bird shit marks. It's an old car. Wheels probably want refurbing. Interior definitely wants a clean. I'll have to read the report in a minute, see what's wrong with the on the inspection side. Really, other than that, the colour's not great. It's black and doom and blue, but there's just a few little bits. It's not horrendous. And generally, from a damage perspective, it's alright. Just a few buff up. And that's really it, really. It's not really much to go on that. You don't usually see many of these in the auction, very rare. They seem to get held on to for very, very long periods of time, which goes to suggest that they're probably quite reliable. We'll see what this one does anyway. Hopefully this one starts up alright and doesn't sound like a bag of spanners. Right, what I'm looking at is, this is the 1.7 Sportage. There's another one, there's a 2 litre one somewhere as well, we'll find in a minute. Has got a marker down on vehicle operation, which again is a bit worrying. I'm sick of doing clutches. It could be gearbox related as well, because they do suffer with dodgy gearboxes, these, which you can fix cheaply now, but it's just an inconvenience. Ding in the bonnet, which my paint man doesn't like. He doesn't like painting bonnets. Little bits on the mirror, cap. 105 foul. The rest of it, famous, ain't that bad. A few little marks on it, but nothing terrible. A bit down there, wants touching and maybe painting. It's just a little bit bitty in places, but it will clean up. But I don't know, I'm being put off by vehicle operation. As I usually can be a pain, but right. Capping at 2.4 clean, ain't gonna do that. I ain't paying that. 1,600 quid average, somewhere around 1,100–1,700 quid to make it worthwhile. It is a bit rough. I like it's not as rough as that though. What's he with that? Badger. Here's the other one. This one needs paint as well. Front bumper's got some sort of skin condition. A bit peely. This is a 4-wheel drive one. This is a 2 litre. It's got a clean report on it. Well, I say I thought it had a clean report on it. No, it's got a marker down on tyres. So engine side's good, and the gearbox side, according to them, is alright. In fact, I'll show you. It's a 107, so it's pretty similar. One former keeper. To be honest with you, it's probably the better of the two, but it's more desirable being 4-wheel drive. You've got a better market for it. Lights cracked at the back, wants a buff up. And the front bumper painting so far, unless this side is hiding anything. Nope. Oh, it's alright that. That's probably the one to go for, to be honest, unless the other one's very, very, very cheap, i.e. 1,500–1,600 quid territory, then it is worth buying, because we know what we can get from. But that one's probably worth, well, it is worth more. And it really only wants a bumper paint and a mop over from a cosmetics perspective. So I might hold out for that one. I've just spotted a nightmare. Anyone knows will know. Yellow Fiat 500. We don't buy yellow Fiat 500s. I'm still seeing a psychiatrist about the last one I had. However, we might have a dabble at this. Right at the beginning, Fiesta. Not technically what I was here for today, but I'll always buy a Fiesta because they're good sellers. Oh, it's a 1.4 diesel. I'm still okay, fair enough. I can still live with a diesel. 1.4 ain't that bad. Bumper's hanging off. That can be fixed. Caught down there. You can't quite see it. Doesn't quite pick it up a bit, it's been caught. Let me just see if it'll buff out. No, it won't. It's caught completely. It's really deep on this near side. I think this side will come out. No, it won't actually. It's door right on through. So it wants 2 doors painted, which is a shame. Silver's a bastard as well to match up. So you end up almost painting a side on that. But if the price reflects it, then it's worth doing. But at the moment, I've got that much paint on. Just doing not buying stuff like that, really. Just quickly looking around to see what else is in today. Big Land Cruiser. Don't see many of these in the auctions. That's 155,000 miles, and it'll bet you'll do probably 10 grand plus. And crazy things. And also a big green Porsche. Who has gone and bought that? Who went to the dealership in, was it 2006? And then went, can I have it in green, please? Oh, am I there? Can I have a bit of brown leather as well, sir? Reminds me of an old Austin Maxi I had. I don't know, it's weird. I would not pick up green for that colour. I'm not anti-green, but green with tan leather, not for me. It's a Cayman S, by the way. It's you don't see many of them in the auctions. I quite like the Cayman. Really, it's just they offer really good value. I mean, I'll give you some examples. That is lot 190. Somebody booking at 6.5 to 7.5 grand for it. Porsche is very, very cheap, and it's not a Boxster, so you haven't got to feel as though when someone goes, you've got a Porsche, you say, yeah, but it's a Boxster. It's a Cayman. Not quite a 911, but it ain't a Boxster either. Now that's interesting. An 08 plate for a Renault Kangoo. Multiboss. It's a wheelchair access one. I didn't even know they made these on 08. I thought they finished way before then. Wheelchair access vehicle. Which, by the way, these things are fortunes. Always low mileage. This one's on £50. A little bit going on the bottom there, wants redoing. But you'd be amazed how much these things are worth to sell. It's a very niche market. And it's auto as well. Oh my word, it's worth fortunes. That is put up on giving you a book price on it because it'll be wrong. Although for some reason they've had some sellotape on the window. It's probably fell out or something. That'll come off. But they are worth money. And they're the sort of thing, if you can buy one of them at right money, they're not quick things to sell, they do hang about, but you can stick quite a nice price out for one of them and just sit back and wait, and eventually the right person comes for it and you can have a real good margin out of it. As for the engines, 1.6 old Megane engine, which is pretty simplistic to be honest. Autoboxes are okay in them. Used to suffer with a few solenoid issues, but they were actually really easy to fix. In fact, I remember on a Megane with this same box in, autobox in, it's the only autobox I've ever fixed by myself on my own. I actually fixed it because they're that easy to fix, and if I can fix it, anyone can fix it because I'm useless at things like that. Right, so got plenty to look at. Mainly the first few lots, so the 2 Kias for myself, and then obviously the Suzuki. We'll have to see what that Suzuki starts up like when it goes through, and I'll let you know if I manage to bag those 3. But I'm not going to stay in that long here because I've got to get back as well, because I've got stuff to get on with, and I haven't got time to spend another hour and a half here today, unfortunately. I've got to get other stuff done. Once we're finished here, we'll go back to the unit, find out what's going on with the sign, and then I've got a ruck of cars coming in, collecting and stuff. Need to go pick up an Astra from paint as well, so we'll go get that picked up and basically have a quick look around and show you what's been going on and show you where we're up to with sold cars and what's going out and what issues we've been facing over the last week or so. Now the auction's going to start in a minute, however I can't film at the moment. We still haven't sorted out any permission yet to be filming, which is a pain, so I'll let you know later on, in a few seconds, what I bought, if anything, and how much I paid for it, and then we'll shoot back, get back to the unit, give the lads a kick up the arse because they're probably on the go slow whilst they've been out this morning, and we'll show you what's been going on the pitch.
Right, all done at the auction. Obviously there's probably another 150 lots to go, but I only came just for a few at the beginning. Quickly let you know I've got on Suzuki, which looked at, no, not interested in that. As it started up, obviously I was aware that it had some driving operation issues, something wrong with the 4-wheel drive, but we'd taken that into account for our customer. But there was also, I would say, the engine issue as well. It had a marker down engine, which sometimes can be, something or nothing. Something can just be just a bit of caution to there. It could be like a noisy pulley or something like that. They'll put it down as engine noise, but it didn't sound too healthy when it started. So I decided, do you know what? We don't need that hassle at the moment, and neither does my customer. So we basically skipped that one over. It did quite strong money anyway, far more than I would have paid for it under that circumstances, because say you got a lot more to spend to fix it. So that was a non-starter, which was a shame. I did win the 4-wheel drive Sportage. The 2-wheel drive one went through first. That did silly money, did 1,800 quid. And he said it had a marker down on vehicle operation, which I couldn't work out what the problem was, but it was a bit bitty on the paintwork and the bonnet needed doing. I just wasn't feeling it. But the other one just wanted the bumper painting. That was all right. So I paid 2,100 quid for it. Cap clean was about 24, just under. So I've got it about right. It's just slightly over average, but needs a bumper painting. It can be made clean for very little money. I'm saying it'd be a decent vehicle for the pitch. Might even be able to trade it on. I don't know yet. I'll speak to my 4x4 guy just in case he does a change of heart and wants it. But if not, we'll retail it. Because say we can sell the Sportages all day long. Like I said, usually you only buy the 2-wheel drive ones, but I don't mind selling a 4-wheel drive one on occasion because they're not actually that bad, those. Also saw the Fiesta at the beginning as well, and there was another Focus Estate I was looking at. They all seem to do really strong money. In fact, everything was doing pretty strong money today. But nonetheless, we won a vehicle from Aston Barclay today, so it was not a wasted trip. And I picked another one up online from another competitor as well. So good. We made a good start to the day. Anyway, we're just round the corner from the units. We're going to go inside now and have a look at my new sign and see what the issue is with it. Right, back at the ranch. Sun's out. Looking lovely. Wind's up a bit though today. It's although fuck am I going about that fucking weather for, you daft cunt? Right, back at the ranch. Still a beautiful day. Sign. It's up. That is evident. I can see what they mean. A little bit big, isn't it? Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that big. Problem now is that because it's a lot larger than I thought it was, said the choir boy to the bishop, that it almost looks a bit too sort of plain, really. If I'd known it was going to be that big, I could have maybe put something else on it. Never mind. It's up. It's better than the old banner that was there. And no one can moan now, so we haven't got a sign. I mean, it's not like you can't see us. You'll be able to see that from the other side of Crewe. Right. This has come up well. Just noticed this corner of my eye. This was on a last update. I bought this off a private customer, walked in. C1, convertible, 1 litre, good engine. But it had a horrible mouldy roof. And it's full of algae, never been cleaned. And I say we've had a go of it yesterday. I could see the progress that was being made on it. But yeah, it seems to have come out all right. It's not done yet by any means. We're going to have another go of it tomorrow. But it's, well, you can see a picture of it what it's like before. So we've made some progress, and I've also ordered some dye for it as well. So we can get it all clean, give it another round of cleaning, and then put the dye on top of it, and hopefully that will make it look $1 million. Basically all we're using is obviously, you know, hose and pressure washers, but using like a whizzy gun we use with a brush on, like a drill one, and we're using that with some different types of products, and it seems to come up all right. It's just mainly algae that was embedded in it, which is good, that, because it's nice to look a smart car again. So we'll get that finished off tomorrow. Wheels probably want a bit of diamond cutting doing on them, but we'll do them at a later date. But it does drive really well, that, and I think we'll sell that. Whoever like this is that weekend, it's supposed to be nice. Might get someone on that, so I'm going to post that in a bit, because it's one of the few cars that doesn't need any bodywork doing to it. And yeah, looks the proper thing. Snap-on's just arrived. He's come to relieve all my members of staff with of the wages, as they do. What else have we got going on? We've got a few sold cars going out. Panda, that's all done, that's going out. That's going out tomorrow. I've got a 207, which, I don't know, Benjamin's washing. That's going out tomorrow as well. And we've also got a C-Max, well, we're going to get on with that next week. That's being delivered later in the week. We're going to get that MOT'd. Corsa, we sold this as well. This has had the wheels off. A couple of wheels were, well, it had one bad wheel, and one of them was, you probably could have got away with touching it up. But in reality, it both of them doing. So we've had 2 done, powder coated, and we'll have them sent away. They're back tomorrow. And then we can get that MOT, because that's hopefully going out Saturday. Really want to get that out for Saturday, because if it doesn't go out Saturday, I don't think they can pick it up for a week or so, because they're going on holiday. So I want to get that one done and dusted, because all the mechanical side is actually finished on it. And then we've got to get on with some other stuff, really. We need to fix up this little C1's a little cheapie, which we actually sold. And then the guy who bought it switched the deposit over to a later one we had in. So now it's become unsold again. But I do need to put a steering rack on it, because it's a bit notchy. So I've got to do that. I'm going to finish that next week, get that on sale. I've got another one here, which a little turquoisey one, which we bought from Aston Barclay, which we've just tidied up, but it wants cleaning up and finishing off and getting in the workshop. That'll be a little bit more expensive, that one, but not much. A couple of grand territory, something like that. We're going to get that one on. And then we've got to get the KA in next week as well. So that's going to have the gearbox and clutch sorted out on it. Alpha's sold as well. We sold the Alfa Romeo the other day, which is good news, because been lingering around a bit for a while, that. Not because it's a bad car, far from it. Just people were scared of it, which I don't know why they do that, because it's just a Fiat Punto, and it actually drives really well. And to be honest with you, all the Alphas I've sold have never really gave much issues, other than
well, the only one thing that seems to be problematic on them is like silly things like Bluetooth connectors or anything to do with start-stop. We're not very well built in that regard, but mechanicals on it are very good. Anyway, guys come in, seen it, drove it, loved it. We've got a few bits to do to it, which we are going to do. We're going to do suspension stuff and that, we need sorting, and a noisy clutch pedal as well that's got, which is really annoying. So we're going to get that minted up and make that right. In the workshop, we've got a Meganin, which is sold again, which is having a cam belt done, I think, or having it stripped down. And then also we're going to get some wheels off it and PDI'd it basically, so it's having, well, Andy's on it now, so we're going to get the tyres all changed straight away, you can see them. Get the brakes all stripped down, mirror caps there, going on to paint, get them back. And just a few bits like that. So the wheels want doing. They're not too bad, that one, but they're still lacquer peeled like that. So we'll get them off and done. Yeah, another tyre as well again, look, see. So what a fuck of money throwing at it. And then this thing, which is just finished off a service, and we've had to send this off to have some clocks fixed on it. It's a typical Focus, the usual clock faults you have in them. This one was throwing a few issues up, but it's now done, automatic focus, so we can get that out hopefully in the next few days. So we're getting there. Right, quickly show you another purchase of mine. This one is controversial. No, it's not the blue Igo, that's the Works Igo, absolute beast that is. This is controversial for me. I'm not a great fan of these, but nonetheless, took the plunge and bought this C4 Picasso. I'll pull it inside in a minute, you can have a proper look at it, but it's currently out on the road. Filthy dirty. My valeter is not going to like this one. He's already pulled the seats up and started on the boot. He'll love the job of the boot. He seems to have a habit of starting with boots first. I'm not quite sure if that's a trait from the valeters or not. They have, I don't know, but he always seems to start from the back end. Oh, 1.6 HDI, and it's a manual. I would never in a million years even attempt to retail an automatic one. Not because they're bad cars and the way they drive. They don't. They drive actually really nice. But at this age, and this one's like, what, 12 years old, these things can start to fall apart. Can we shut up that radio? There we go. So usually on these, problems are with the auto boxes. They pack up and just basically, you know, they're horrible, nasty things, and semi-automatic clutches, and they're just horrible to work on. So you don't bother with them. The manuals are all right, but then you get other things like the handbrakes don't work. So you always make sure the handbrakes work on these, because if the handbrakes go wrong on them, they're very expensive. And this one is working absolutely fine. And I actually know the guy who's had it, so it's a mechanic who's had this locally, and he's looked after it. It's not long had a clutch and dual mass in it and a cam belt and stuff done on it in the last 18 months, so I can vouch for it on that side of it. So I've took the plunge and paid for it. You see, he just wants a bit of cleaning up. He's been used as a family car, but if I'm going to have a go at a 7-seater, I'm going to use this one because I know it's been looked after mechanically. Anyway, let's pull it inside, get a proper look at it. Yeah, so old Grand Picasso. I'm sure on one of my previous videos I may have mentioned that you shouldn't really be buying one of these, particularly from auction. And I would still stand by that. I'm not saying for 1 minute that these can be particularly reliable vehicles at this age, because generally, most of them that go through the auctions I've ever bought have been absolute piles of crap. But when you get one that has been looked after, and particularly if it's not an automatic one at this sort of age, they will generally give a bit of good service to it. And particularly, like I said, this one's had a belt done and it's had a dual mass done, so the major costs have actually been done. It still needs work on it, as in it needs cleaning up. I need to get some centres for it, and it probably potentially might need a little bit of paint on it. I think there's a few little marks that might need painting. We'll see. There's a few scuffs on it, but I might get away with a buff up. But I think we might need to sort this door out, and there's a little bit down there as well. But we'll see. We're going to clean it up first and see what we've got at the end of it. It wasn't dear money. I bought it at fair money, to be fair. I say I wouldn't have paid anywhere near sort of asking cap clean for one of these, because, well, I just know what they can be like. And even when you get a good one like this one, they still will want more money thrown at them, because underneath the suspensions just get battered on them. Such a big lumpy car. You know, you get underneath these and you end up wanting top mounts and drop links and all sorts. But I need 7-seaters. I keep getting asked for them. And you say, and your options are stuff like this, or Saphiras. Most Saphiras are battered by this point. You've got obviously the S-Maxes and stuff, but they're really expensive. Galaxies, again, they're really expensive. So you're very limited about what 7-seaters I can buy, really, because there's so much competition for them. So when I got offered this, and I sort of dismissed it, and then when I actually thought, well, actually, I know the chap, I know what the history is, we'll have a go with it. Could be a bad mistake, but I think we'll be all right with it. We'll see. We'll get it tidied up anyway, and then we can get it on sale hopefully in the next few days. We've actually been using it the last few days, in fairness to it, and it's actually been brilliant. So you can get a good one of these, but they are few and far between. Right, good news, the Mercedes is back. We've just had it back in here, just do the level checks and that, finish it off before we clean it. Finally, after a long battle with this one, we bought this car probably about June last year. I got it as a trade-in. Sorry, I didn't get it as a trade-in, I bought it from another trade company. And it's been a nightmare. We literally had a problem with getting a chain sorted on it. No one wanted to do it. Eventually we did get it sorted. It's had a few little issues since then, but we managed to sort them out. Got there in the end, and it's now back driving absolutely spot on. And now is finally MOT'd, and we can actually get it out to the customer hopefully tomorrow. So we need to mint it up. He has done a few little improvements to it. He's had the wheel, well, we repainted the wheels, but he's decided to have them done in black powder coat, which actually I'm never a fan of black wheels, but I actually think it's suited, to be honest. It does work well with the white, one of the few exceptions. So he just wants minting up now, so we'll get that minted up, and we'll get that off to him tomorrow. And yeah, finally got there with that one. Will I buy another one? What a balls. Quickly show you this as well. It's actually just come back from paint. This is a Vauxhall Astra. I've actually got a few of these now. I seem to have purchased quite a few of them. So I've got this blue one, which I bought from a local car auction. This is a elite model, so this is a 1.6 petrol in a nice blue as well. You don't usually see them in blue. They're usually like black or grey. In fact, we've got a grey one over there, which is 1.4, which needs a gearbox, which is where I want to bought it, private customer. And I've got a black one there, 1.6 petrol, which also actually came about a few days before this one. But obviously all different sort of prices. This is probably the peach of the bunch. This is a say 1.6 elite. I think it's only done 75,000 miles. And like I said, you don't usually see them with all the leathering and cruise and stuff on them and climate packs. They're quite rare. Most of them were just sort of life trims, or you get the odd SRI trim, which, to be honest with you, by modern standards, didn't really have a lot on it. So it's a nice little touch, that, and see a bit lower on the mileage as well for me on 75 thou. Just a nice colour. It's the colour that's done it for me. Did have a little bit of paint on the back bumper, but you won't be able to tell, although it's all dusty again now. And just come up with a nice car. So we've got that. We've got another one there, black one. This is going to be a bit cheaper. And then we've got the 1.4 one over there as well, which we're going to get on with that as well next week and get that sorted. And I've also bought a red one as well, a 1.6 red estate with really low miles on, which has gone to paint, which bought off a private customer, which you'll see in an update video. Anyway, just noticed we've had a nice little present come through. I've been ordering some goodies. Let me open this box up, show you what I've been buying. Right, open it up. Let's say I've been ordering some stuff in. It only took about 3 days it did to get to us, which is a lot quicker than to previous parcels. They seem to have got very quick on the old delivery front, Autodoc. What have I been ordering? Because half of it I've forgotten about. Oil, I remember that one. So this is the Castrol Magnatec. That's 540 DPF oil. We do keep a lot of oils here, but I don't keep any mid sort of 540 DPF stuff because it's quite rare. I actually need that for a customer who has to have Pacific grade Castrol oil for their service I'm doing for them as a favour. So I ordered that because it's about £6 cheaper, that is, online through Autodoc than it is from our local motor factors. Plus you got a discount code as well. These are, I've been ordering rucks of stuff, usually iGos and Corsas I order rucks of stuff for because they're just so cheap. Yeah, so these are drop links. So pretty much every single iGo you get underneath, and any MOT testers out there will know exactly what I mean, or anyone who's servicing them, you'll see the drop links on the arms. They're always worn out, they're always a bit sort of split and gone. Now they always look terrible, and unless they got plain and they wouldn't fail MOT, but they just look bad. And also when you change them, you do notice a big difference on them. So obviously we don't want any advisors on them, they're going for MOT, so we just change every single set on them because they always look shagged out. So we buy them because, again, they're really expensive. My motor factors would charge me for one of those about £18 just for one, and obviously you need to put a pair on. And they are about, I think they were about between £6 and £8 a piece, so a fraction of the cost as well. And I say there's not just this brand, I just went for the one that I know is the cheapest one that I've used before, but there's all sorts of brands. You could buy from 10 different brands if you wanted. If you've got a particular brand you like, if you want it in Febby or you want another brand, they've got them all there. Yeah, so we've got boxes and boxes of them we've ordered, because we go through them like anything. What else we got in here? Some filters and stuff. Fitting kits. So we got some fitting kits. These are like only a few quid to buy, these fitting kits. We say every time we put shoes on them, we say we end up having to put fitting kits on because half the time they're all worn out. Again, they're about half the price than they are from the local motor factors.
So you'll go through them, so order the ruck of those. Oil filters, order a ruck of them, or IGOs again, and C1 107s, because I mean, they're about half the price of what we use. You usually would use like a man filter or something like that. I mean, they're just good filters them, to be fair. I've used them for a while, and you know, they're good quality for what they are. Air filters again, half the price. So we just got a ruck of air filters. There's some wheel cylinders, again, about half the price that we pay locally. Shock absorbers, these are a massive saving. I think these were about 18 quid, again for IGOs and C1s. We've probably changed about, I'd say every other one needs rear shockers on because they go squeaky and noisy and lose all the damping. Again, these are Ridex shockers, which are quite good. I would pay probably 28 quid a shocker from our local motor factors. Again, they're about 10 quid saving on each of those. We've got a couple of those. What's this here? There's some more brake cylinders. We've got a couple of wheel cylinders, and in there, I'm sure these will probably be a set of wheel shoes, so brake shoes as well. I think I needed to make my order up, so I just put some shoes on to go with a fitting kit. Again, they were about 6-7 quid cheaper than the equivalent set of braking shoes we'd get locally. And that's really what I do here. When we see a lot of car parts that we keep regularly using, so i.e. you see the same sort of faults that are keeping reoccurring, or obviously just general filter stuff, when we're able to go on something like Autodoc and order this stuff online and get it sent in and save a lot of money, it just helps with our sort of margins, and also of course it means we can do a lot more to them. We're not worrying about maintaining a margin. We can go, right, because we've made a massive saving, because we've bought a ruck of stuff in bulk, we can spend a little bit more on the car. We can be a bit more proactive and look further forward, and basically just try and do some other things that might be coming down the road. Like I said, we do a lot like water pumps and stuff. I keep loads of them in. I won't chance it, I'll just do it. Like on the courses, we always change like all the stat housings and stuff, because we know they go wrong and we just don't want to risk it. So when we can get anything like that in, make a big saving, it does really help, because it means we can just do more to make sure the cars go out, and means we get less hassle, and so does the customer. Right, I think we're going to wrap things up there. What we're going to get on with next week? Well, we've got to get that Sportage back that we won this morning. That is going to need to be brought back over here. I think, I was speaking to someone earlier, we might be able to trade that on as is. If they don't want it and I can't make a quick drink out of it, then it'll just go straight on sale here. So we'll see how that one develops. Also as well, I also won a Citroen C1 this morning. Not from Aston BARCLAY, I was actually on another auction as well at the same time. It's a bit of multitasking. And we've got to go pick that up, because I think we've got potential buyer for that as well. And I've still got cars at another auction site I need to pick up as well. I've got an Ibiza I need to bring back in, a nice 11 plate Ibiza, which unfortunately needs the rear bumper painting. Not that it's a massive issue, it's just that it's just going to be delayed because we've got a lot of paint on at the moment. I'm having to buy a lot of cars currently that just need a little bit of paint, plus I'm a little bit fussy when it comes to paint. But nonetheless, that will get done, and eventually we'll get it on sale and sold to someone. I have no doubt about that. And I also got a DS3, which just arrived as well. We need to go through that. Think it might need a clutch. Of course it would. Of course it needs a clutch. That's all we seem to do now, is fit clutches in cars. But it does definitely need a clutch because it's really high. But it was very cheap. It was only about £1,800 paid for it, which I was really pleased with. Preferred it if it wasn't red, because I think that will probably hinder it in its sales slightly. But it is a diesel one. I wouldn't dare buy a petrol because they've got the mini engines in and they're usually very troublesome. But I'm sure we can get that turned around very, very quickly and get that on sale probably in the next week. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little dealer's vlog. Came with me today on my journey. Make sure you check up our regular update videos later in the week. And also, we are back at the auctions in a few days' time, so don't forget to check out that as well. Plus lots of other content that I'm currently working on as well. So anyhow, thanks again. Don't forget to check out Autodoc as well in the link description. Use that promo code on screen now to get your discount on top of your amazing prices. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next one.